You took my sunrise, the day you stopped choosing me. Left my mornings full of silence, where your voice used to be. I used to wake up smiling just to text you good morning. Now I wake up with my heart already cracked and storming. I still make room for you without meaning to at all. Like my soul still expects you when the sunlight starts to fall. And I hate how love can change from warm to something cruel. Like I was just a season in your life, not something true. You didn't have to shout, you didn't have to fight. You just slowly turned away and stole the color from my life. You took my sunrise, you took the gold from my sky. Now every morning feels like another way to say goodbye. You took my sunrise, left me stuck in midnight blue. And I'm learning how to breathe in a world that lost you too. I used to love the daylight, now I fear what it will do. Cause every dawn reminds me I still wake up missing you. You took my sunrise and you didn't even care. You left me with a shadow in a bed that isn't. I talk to empty pillows like they're gonna answer back. Like maybe love is somewhere in the pieces that you crack. And people say move on, but they don't know what I lost. I lost the version of me that still believed in us. You were my first thought waking, my last thought falling asleep. Now you're the ache in my chest that never gets relief. You were my reason, my softest place to land. Now I'm holding all this love with no one left to understand. You took my sunrise, you took the gold from my sky. Now every morning feels like another way to say goodbye. You took my sunrise, left me stuck in midnight blue. And I'm learning how to breathe in a world that lost you too. I used to love the daylight, now I fear what it will do. Cause every dawn reminds me I still wake up missing you. I never knew a goodbye could happen without words. That you could still be breathing and feel more gone than hurt. I keep rewriting memories, trying to find the clue. The moment you stopped loving me, well, I still clung to you. And I don't miss your leaving, I miss the girl I was. The one who trusted fully, the one who called it us. Now I watch the sunrise slowly like it's mocking what we had. Cause it rises without you. And that truth hurts so bad. You took my sunrise and I'm still here in the dark, holding on to all the love you dropped without a mark. You took my sunrise, but you can't take all of me. I'll rebuild my mornings even if it's hard to breathe. I'll learn to love the daylight, I'll learn to face the blue. But I'll never forget the feeling of losing it to you. You took my sunrise and left me with the sky. You left me in the rain with my makeup running down, trying not to look like heartbreak in the middle of this town. My hands were shaking badly, but I held my phone so tight, waiting for your message like it could bring back the light. The streets were full of people, but I felt so all alone. Like love was just a language that you spoke then left unknown. And every drop kept hitting me like echoes of your name. I stood there like a promise that you never came to claim. You said you needed distance, you said you needed space, but you didn't need to leave me in such a cruel, cold place. You left me in the rain, like I was easy to forget. Like all the nights I loved you were nothing but a debt. You left me in the rain while you stay warm somewhere, and I was drowning in the silence of you not being there. I begged the sky to stop it, but it only fell again. You left me in the rain and called it how it ends. You left me in the rain, with my jacket soaked in pain, with my heart still chasing after you like it's going insane. I kept replaying memories like they were still alive, like if I loved you harder we could somehow still survive. I blame myself for everything, I blame my voice, my tears, I blame the way I needed you too close through all the years. But the truth is you were fading long before you said goodbye. You just let me stand outside while you stayed safe and dry. You held my heart like glass and dropped it without sound, and walked away so calmly like it couldn't hit the ground. You left me in the rain, like I was easy to forget. Like all the nights I loved you were nothing but a debt. You left me in the rain while you stay warm somewhere, and I was drowning in the silence of you not being there. I begged the sky to stop it, but it only fell again. You left me in the rain and called it how it ends. Do you know what rain feels like when you're already broken? It doesn't just soak your clothes, it soaks the words unspoken. I kept hearing your I love you and thunder far away, but lightning doesn't mean devotion when the sun won't ever stay. And I hate myself for waiting, for standing where you lied, for thinking you would turn around and finally choose my side. But you never look back, not even once. And I learned the hardest lesson: love can leave without a punch. You left me in the rain, and I still called out your name, like maybe if I suffered you would feel a little shame. You left me in the rain, and I watched my world go gray, 'cause the only thing you promised was the way you'd walk away. Now every storm reminds me how you loved me, then you ran. You left me in the rain, but I'm stronger than I am. You left me in the rain, and I finally let you go. We used to talk with our eyes, no words needed to be said. Your presence felt like shelter, like a heartbeat in my head. Even when the world got heavy, you were quiet but you stayed. And I love the way your stillness made my fears start to fade. But then your silence changed its meaning. It stopped being peace, it turned into a war. You sat right beside my feelings, and still you didn't feel me at all. I asked you simple questions with a shaking kind of brave. You answered with a coldness like you wanted me to break. And every I'm fine you whisper felt like knives behind your teeth, like love was just a habit you were trying to release. I waited in the quiet for you to reach for me, but the quiet got so crowded with what you wouldn't speak. You broke the silence between us, not with truth, but with goodbye. You shattered all our softness with one look in your eyes. I thought silence meant forever, I thought it meant we'd fight, but you broke the silence between took your love that night. I learned the sound of distance in the way you breathe too slow, in the way your hands stopped holding mine like they used to hold. You laughed at other people like your chest still knew how to feel, then turned to me like I was something you didn't want to hear. I kept my tears in secret, I kept my pride in place. I practiced being easy so you wouldn't run away. I swallowed every heartbreak just to keep the room calm, while you let the room go empty like my love did you wrong. And I started missing you while you were still right here, because love can die in silence long before it disappears. I begged you with my patience, I pleaded with my pain, but you looked through my devotion like it never had a name. You broke the silence between us, not with truth, but with goodbye. You shattered all our softness with one look in your eyes. I thought silence meant forever, I thought it meant we'd fight, but you broke the silence between us and took your love that night. Do you know what hurts the most? Not the yelling, not the blame, it's the way you let me drown while calling it the same. I would've survived a storm, I would survive the scar. You chose the quiet ending like I wasn't worth the war. And I replay the moment, the pause before you spoke, when my heart was still believing you would fix what you broke. But you didn't come with mercy, you didn't come with care. You came with final sentences and left me standing there. You broke the silence between us, and it sounded like the end, like a door that won't reopen, like a love that won't pretend. Now the quiet feels haunted, now the room forgets my name. You broke the silence between us, and nothing feels the same. If you ever miss me later, if you ever wanna call, remember this, I didn't lose you in an argument. I lost you in the silence that you chose to make a wall. I loved you like a dream, I didn't want to wake from soft kisses, slow promises under a gentle sun. I thought you were my forever, I thought you felt it too, but dreams don't tell you clearly when they're slipping out of you. You held me like you meant it, then let go like you didn't, and I stayed in the silence trying to fix what you finished. I loved you like a dream, beautiful and real. I gave you all my heart like you would never steal, but you faded in my hands like smoke I couldn't keep. And now I'm wide awake crying over what I dreamed. I loved you like a dream, and dreams don't ever stay. They leave you with the sunrise and a heart that breaks all day. I loved you like a dream that made my whole world bright, but you were only mine in the softness of the night. When morning came, you changed, you turned your love to air, and I was left still reaching for someone who wasn't there. You said you needed time, but time became your exit, and I kept calling it love while you kept trying to end it. heart that breaks all day. Now every love song hurts me, every sweet word feels untrue. 'Cause I learned the hardest lesson, I can't make you choose me too. And I hate that I still miss you and you never miss me back. Like my heart is still chasing what your heart already liked. I loved you like a dream, too pure to be alive. I tried to hold forever, but you didn't even try. You vanished in my arms like a goodbye in the dark. And now I'm wide awake with your absence in my heart. I loved you like a dream, and I'm paying for it still. 'Cause waking up without you is a pain that doesn't heal. I loved you like a dream, and you left me with the night. I loved you in pieces and fragments of hope. In late night apologies, I tried hard to hold. I loved you in silence, I loved you in tears. And it's okay, words that hit on my fears. I gave you my patience when you gave me doubt. I stayed when my heart kept begging me out. I fixed all the cracks you pretended weren't there, while you held my love like you didn't care. I was a home you visited when you felt alone. Then you leave my heart unlocked and call it grown. I loved you in pieces, not whole like before. I held on to you while you drifted from shore. I loved you in pieces, in half of my pride, and smiles that were breaking the more that I tried. And you didn't notice the pain in my voice. You made me a habit, not a real choice. I loved you in pieces, and still you let go. Like my love was nothing, like I didn't glow. I loved you in pieces and bruises I hid, and all the soft things you forgot that you did. I loved you in waiting, in empty replies, in staring at ceilings with swollen up eyes. I carried your moods like a weight on my chest. I gave you my best when you gave me your last. I forgave you too quickly, I broke every rule. I turned into someone who looked like a fool. You called it bad timing, you called it we changed, but my love stayed faithful while yours rearranged. I loved you in pieces, not whole like before. I held on to you while you drifted from shore. I loved you in pieces, in half of my pride, in smiles that were breaking the more that I tried. And you didn't notice the pain in my voice. You made me a habit, not a real choice. I loved you in pieces, and still you let go. Like my love was nothing, like I didn't glow. I didn't lose you in one moment, I lost you little by little each day. In every cold I'm busy, and every time you looked away. I kept stitching my heart back together just to hand it back to you, and you kept taking what you wanted, like that's what love should do. I used to believe you were mine forever, now I can't even say your name, because loving you is fire, and I'm the one who took the flame. I loved you in pieces, and that was my sin, to love you with less, but still let you in. I loved you in pieces, in parts of my you too deep. Now I'm holding the ruins you didn't want to keep. I left you in pieces because that's all you ever left me to love. My tears fell for nothing. I cried until I shook. I begged for you in silence, like a prayer no one took. I stayed up with your memories, my eyes burning red, while you slept without missing me in someone else's bed. I blame myself for everything, for not being enough, like love was something I could earn if I just tried harder. But you were already leaving while I was still holding on, and I didn't see the goodbye until you were already gone. You let me break so slowly and called it growing apart, but you were just escaping while I was losing my heart. My tears fell for nothing, my love meant nothing too. I gave you all my softest parts and watched you walk right through. I cried like it could save us, like pain could make you stay. But you don't love a girl deeper by letting her decay. My tears fell for nothing, they never changed your mind. You left me with a lifetime ache and called it just bad timing. My tears fell for nothing. I learned to smile in pain, I learned to act like I'm okay while I'm breaking in the rain. I kept your name inside my chest like it was still my home, but you turned my love to emptiness and left me there alone. I replayed every moment, every laugh, every touch, searching for the second where I loved you way too much. And the saddest part is knowing you were never really mine. I was just the in-between girl you used to pass the time. You were my whole forever, but I was just your face. I was the one who loved you true while you were counting days. My tears fell for nothing, my love meant nothing too. I gave you all my softest parts and watched you walk right through. I cried like it could save us, like pain could make you stay. But you don't love a girl deeper by letting her decay. My tears fell for nothing, they never changed your mind. You left me with a lifetime ache and called it just bad timing. I used to think love was patience, so I waited like a fool. I called your distance busy while you made my heart a tool. I memorized excuses just to keep you looking good. I protected your name with my silence like a loyal lover would. But you didn't deserve that mercy, you didn't deserve my tears, you didn't deserve the way I stayed through all those lonely years. And now my hands are empty, but my heart still feels the cost, 'cause I gave you everything I had and still ended up lost. My tears fell for nothing, but they taught me what is real. They showed me love can cut you deep and still refuse to heal. I cried until my voice was gone, until my soul turned cold, and you never even noticed what my heartbreak had to hold. My tears fell for nothing, but I won't fall again. I'll never beg for love that leaves and calls it just the end. My tears fell for nothing, but I survived the fall. I was your unspoken, the love you never named, the hidden and little heartbeat you kept locked inside your shame. I was the almost in your story, the maybe in your eyes, girl you held in secret while you smiled in other lives. I learned to read your silence like it was a kind of care. I waited in the shadows just to feel you standing there. And every time you touched me, you would leave before the light, like loving me was something you could only do at night. You didn't have to hurt me, you just had to choose. But you loved me like a secret you were scared to lose. I was your unspoken, your quiet kind of love, the one you never fought for, the one you never called enough. I was your unspoken, the girl you wouldn't claim. So I learned to swallow feelings just to keep you the same. And I broke my own heart gently so you wouldn't have to see. I was your unspoken, but you spoke goodbye to me. I was your unspoken, the warmth you used to heal. You took my soft devotion, but you never let it feel. You fed me tiny hopes like they were diamonds in my hands, then disappeared for days and called it life. I'd understand. I watched you give the world the version you were proud to be, while I got all your leftovers and you don't get mad at me. And when I asked for honesty, you changed the air to cold, like my love was too heavy, like my love was too bold. You kept me close enough to never let me go, but far enough to make sure no one would ever know. I was your unspoken, your quiet kind of love, the one you never fought for, the one you never called enough. I was your unspoken, the girl you wouldn't claim. So I learned to swallow feelings just to keep you the same. And I broke my own heart gently so you wouldn't have to see. I was your unspoken. Do you know what it feels like to be loved like a secret, to be held like a treasure, but treated like you don't exist? I became the girl who deletes messages, who laughs when she wants to cry, who pretends she doesn't need more when she's dying inside. I was loyal to your silence, faithful to your fear, and I hate that I still miss you when you never kept me near. You didn't break me loudly, you broke me with control, with every nod right now that slowly stole my soul. I was your unspoken, the love you kept confined, a heartbeat you refused to hold in daylight or in time. I was your unspoken, and I paid for every kiss with a life full of what if, and a heart full of I miss. Now I'm learning how to matter, even when you disagree. I was your unspoken, but I'm speaking up for me. I was your unspoken, and you were my loudest pain. My heart was your habit, the comfort you would wear, like I was just a hoodie when the world got hot out there. You came to me in pieces, I held you like a home, but you never asked permission before making me alone. You loved me when it suited you and silence felt too loud, then vanished like my feelings were a burden not allowed. And I kept giving chances like my love could change your mind, while you kept taking from me like it didn't count as crime. I should've noticed early how you only reached for me when you were empty, lonely, or afraid to fall asleep. But my heart was your habit, now your forever place. You held me when you needed me, then left without a trace. You said I meant the world to you, but never stayed to prove. And I kept dying quietly just to be loved by you. My heart was your habit, and I was too blind to see you didn't love me deeply. You just got used to me. My heart was your habit, your late night therapy. You pour out all your sadness, then forget about me. I memorized your patterns, every maybe, every soon. I waited for your effort like a flower waits for June. I stayed through all the coldness, through your half-done apologies. I swallowed all my questions just to keep your peace with me. But love should never feel like I'm a backup playing keep, like I'm a soft replacement when you're missing someone's heat. You called me special softly, then treated me like air, and I kept holding on to words that were never really there. My heart was your habit, now your forever place. You held me when you needed me, then left without a trace. You said I meant the world to you, but never stayed to prove. And I kept dying quietly just to be loved by you. My heart was your habit, and I was too blind to see you didn't love me deeply. You just got used to me. Do you know what it does to a girl to be someone sometimes? To be kissed like a promise, then ignored for days and nights. I became a waiting room, a place you rest your pain. But I needed someone who would choose me in the sun, not only in the rain. And I hate that I miss you, not the truth but the routine. The way your voice will calm me down before you disappear from me. You train my heart to expect you like a song that always plays, and now I flinch at quiet mornings cause you're gone in every way. My heart was your habit, but I'm breaking free tonight. I'm done being your comfort when you never hold me right. I'm done being the girl who forgives and understands, while you keep leaving fingerprints and never take my hands. My heart was your habit, but I'm more than what you need. If love is only convenient, then it isn't love to me. My heart was your habit, now it's mine again. You left me unfinished, like a letter never sent, like a promise in my hands that never meant what it meant. I was building something real with every breath that I gave, while you were already halfway out, pretending you would stay. I memorized your heartbeat like it could guide me home, but you made my love a place you visited, not your own. And now I'm stuck in the middle of the life we almost had, holding on to maybe like it's all that I can grab. I kept rewriting your silence into reasons to believe, but truth doesn't live in hope when someone wants to leave. You left me unfinished in the middle of my love, with a heart still reaching out for what you wouldn't touch. You left me unfinished with your name on my skin, like I'm still your girl in memories, but not in where you've been. drives me unfinished. With my pride on the floor, and my tears in the mirror, and my keys at your door. I kept saving my softness for the day you come back, but you never even noticed what you're leaving made me lack. I stopped trusting my instincts, I stopped trusting my worth. I started blaming my heart for loving you first, and I replay every moment like a movie that won't end. Cause I still can't accept that you were never mine again. You said it's complicated, like pain is just a word, but you made my love a story with no ending ever heard. You left me unfinished in the middle of my love, with a heart still reaching out for what you wouldn't touch. You left me unfinished with your name on my skin, like I'm still your girl in memories, but not in where you've been. And I hate how I'm still loyal to the ghost of what we were. You left me unfinished, and I'm bleeding from the blur. I didn't need affection, I didn't need a fairy tale, I just needed you to mean it when you said you wouldn't fail. But you loved me like a season, like a song you'd someday change, and I stayed like it was sacred, even when it felt unsafe. Now I'm learning how to breathe again without begging for your air, but some nights I still wake up and swear you're standing there. Because you didn't just leave me, you left a hole inside my chest, where my future used to live, where my heart deserved its rest. You left me unfinished, and you walked away so clean, like I wasn't your midnight prayers, like I wasn't in your dreams. You left me unfinished with the love I can't erase, with 1,000 unsaid sentences still shaking in my face. And I'm trying to forgive you, but forgiveness feels like loss. You left me unfinished, and I'm paying every cost. You left me unfinished, but one day I'll finish myself without you. I loved you too deeply, like the ocean loves the moon, pulling tides out of my chest just to reach you in my room. I gave you all my softness, every secret I could hold, while you gave me half a heartbeat and a hand that turned to cold. I believed your little someday, I believed your I'm not ready. I held your broken pieces like my love could keep you steady. But the more I tried to save you, the more I lost my name, and I started calling suffering a different kind of flame. I should've known by how you loved me, careful, quiet, and complete, that my heart was not a place you planned to ever fully keep. I loved you too deeply, and it ruined me inside. I drowned in all the feelings that I never got to hide. I loved you too deeply, while you stayed on the shore, watching me fall apart and still asking me for more. And I hate how I stayed faithful to a love that wasn't true. I loved you too deeply, and it wasn't enough for you. I loved you too deeply, I forgave what I should fear. I smiled through all the warnings just to keep you you near. I turned my pain to poetry, I turned my tears to grace. I kept making excuses for the emptiness you placed. You were warm when it was easy, you were distant when it mattered. You kissed me like a habit while my soul was being shattered. And I kept calling it love when it felt like being used, 'cause losing you felt deadly, so I stayed confused. You didn't have to scream to break me, you just had to fade and leave me holding on to words you never really meant to say. I loved you too deeply, and it ruined me inside. I drowned in all the feelings that I never got to hide. I loved you too deeply, while you stayed on the shore, watching me fall apart and still asking me for more. And I hate how I stayed faithful to a love that wasn't true. I loved you too deeply, and it wasn't enough for you. Do you know what it's like to beg the same sky for rain, to pray for someone's love while they practice leaving again? I held your name like medicine, but it only made me sick, 'cause you were never trying to heal me, you were just craving something quick. And I gave you my forever in the smallest little ways, and drive safe and text me in my waiting in my days. But you only loved the version of me I didn't ask for proof, so I became a quiet heartbreak living under your roof. I loved you too deeply, now I'm scared to love it all. Like my heart is made of glass, and you taught it how to fall. Loved you too deeply, and I paid with every breath, 'cause you took the best of me and left me with the rest. And someday you might miss me when you finally see the truth. I loved you too deeply, and I still survived you. I loved you too deeply, and you loved me just enough to leave.